This is my first test attempt. So I am doing audio only and I am watching on Paramount Plus, but it's the plan where I still have commercials. So I intend on pressing pause while recording and then come back on hopefully when the commercial is over. So I'm starting with Star Trek Enterprise, the first episode, Broken Bow, part 1 and 2. Hopefully my internet doesn't. Okay, so this is commercial. Gonna pause. And we're starting. TV seems to be a bit laggy. So we see a young Jonathan Archer in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. And this actor I recognize as his dad, but I'm not sure who it is. So he's just a kid and he's talking about, I don't know what he's talking about. Vulcans who are relatively new to humans, and he was painting a model of a ship. Okay, now it's 30 years later. He's not a kid anymore. There's a downed spacecraft in a cornfield. Oh shit, somebody's running. It's a Klingon. Shots of corn. Okay, so here we see an alien with like, I don't know, pumice stone face. And then apparently some guy looked out his door. Oh, we see a Klingon running to a silo. For some reason, Klingon is running from an alien. Unusual. There's a dude with a gun. Okay, then there's two pumice stone aliens. And what I mean is their skin's kind of lumpy and craggy. Oh shit, they can fit under a crack in the door by liquefying themselves. Get a good shot of the ass flattening. Oh, one went in and opened the door for the other instead of both liquefying. Okay, so the Klingon must be terrified because he just jumped out at the top of the silo and now he's running. Turns back around, explodes the silo, kablooey, particles. So, I know Broken Bow has to do with something I remember of Captain Kirk, I feel like, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's a different state. Okay, there's a redneck, and okay, the Klingon is talking in the Klingon language, which the white dude apparently doesn't know, because this is probably the first time. Okay, here's the theme song. I'm leaving the theme song in and I might be singing. I don't know. It's such an iconic song and I never fast forward. Like, who could get tired of this song? And I like to sing it with a country accent. I will touch the sky and they're not gonna hold me down no more. No, they're not gonna change my mind. And this intro, you see Amelia Earhart, you see like blueprints superimposed over airplanes. Some guys, some other guys. Now they're going to space flight. Oh, there's a rocket blasting off, and you see the names of the people. There's some equations on a blackboard. Now they're in space. The astronauts are on the moon. Now there's a rover, satellites. So I think this came out in the 90s where we were still very much hopeful about the world. Not like now. see the Enterprise. This is the Enterprise before the famous Enterprise that we know. Okay, going straight in. Broken bow. See some sort of shuttle pod. Oh yeah, the great thing about this show is the graphics are or can be terrible. Okay, we see Scott Bakula. He's just got a baseball cap on. Oh, he's with Trip. Oh, Tiny Lister is in this episode. And Captain Archer and Trip just look like kind of like hillbilly dudes in space. They're not wearing, at least Trip's wearing a uniform and Archer is wearing civilian clothes from the looks of it. They're in a pod, probably gonna dock. I guess going over some last minute deets, fixing things up. Trip scratched the paint because it's very old fashioned like that. Oh shit, message from the Admiral. Gotta go see him. Oh, now they're in good old San Francisco, home of Starfleet headquarters. Oh, there's a serious looking Vulcan. Oh, and the Klingon that was running through the corn is in a viewing room, a medical viewing room, where he's being worked on, but there's a window so people can stare at him like an animal. Seems like a bunch of higher ups on the human side and some on the Vulcan side. Oh, here's what's his face, Jonathan Archer in his like khaki overshirt. He's like, what seems to be the problem here? Okay, this guy just said Klingot. And the Klingon looks not unlike Worf, but it's not Worf. This is the first time that Jonathan Archer has heard the name Kronos. The Vulcans seem kind of uppity. I might have already said that. Oh, is he dead? Oh. The Klingon looks alive, but now they're talking about a corpse. Oh, we see Dr. Phlox. So Archer's trying to find out if this Klingon is dead or alive. He's currently alive. So out is coming Archer's exasperated, I can't believe you're doing this stuff. And we see T'Pol wearing more clothes than usual. So the thing about me, oh, his name is Clang. The thing about me is I have a hard time remembering names if they're not main characters. So the higher ups and on the human and Vulcan side, they're like this, and then T'Pol is with the Vulcans at this point, and she's like this, and Archer's like, no fucking way, this. We do things my way. And he's like, I'm gonna transport this motherfucker home, and he's not gonna die. Some guy named Dan. Ooh. So this is not my first time watching Enterprise, so obviously I know some of these people already. So I guess this guy's the Admiral. The humans and Vulcans are always heated. And then Archer, he's always heated. And T'Pol's just observing and being like, humans are fucked up. They got emotions and shit. And Archer's like, I'm gonna save this guy's ass. Meanwhile, he knows nothing about Klingons. Okay, and the Admiral is just like, make sure you don't fuck up, dude. Now Archer wants to talk to the doctor. Little does he know he's gonna be the doctor on his ship. Holy shit. Okay, so Enterprise is in, I forget what it's called, dry dock. Okay, now we're seeing more characters. We're seeing Travis, and we're seeing Malcolm. And this is, I don't know how many years after. Oh, shit! So this is pre Star Trek TOS. So this is where they're still figuring out the bugs in the beaming system. The what are they called? Transporters? So they're doing some sort of chatting about the upcoming mission. Something about a Klingon. Okay, so now we're seeing the rest of the interior of the ship. There's like welding going on. People like dropping down from the ceiling. Just establishing that this is very early on. They're still physically doing a lot of stuff. Kind of looks like a submarine. Blinking lights. Okay, here we see Trip. Trip is one of my favorite guys. He's a very rough around the edges country dude. He's from Florida. Usually I'd be like, ooh, Florida, but that's Trip's home. So then he turns around. Oh, Travis Mayweather. Trip's the engineer. He's talking about the warp that it can reach, and Travis is really impressed. And Malcolm's British, so he's a bit uptight. So Malcolm's a lieutenant. Travis is an ensign. I don't know what Trip is. Okay. Now we're introduced to Hoshi. She's in supposedly Brazil, teaching a language class. She's trilling. Trilling her R's, I don't think we even know what trills are in this show. The aliens. Okay, so out of some bushes comes Captain Archer. He's there to recruit her. He's like, can you come now? And she's like, I gotta teach some more. He's like, no, we need you. And she's like, I owe it to these kids, she called them. So we're establishing she's very good at what she does. She's got a good ear for alien languages. He's playing some Klingon for her. She seems intrigued. Archer seems to be wearing a crinkly, casual, maybe cotton, maybe linen shirt. Archer is saying Klingons are warriors. They have some polyglottal whatever. I'm watching with captions, by the way. Okay, so yeah, Hoshi looks intrigued, and then she gives a wry little one corner of her mouth smile. Now we're back to dry dock. So now they're talking about how they're going to have a Vulcan science officer who's T'Pol from earlier. So this initial mission, they're thinking, is just going to be bring the Klingon to Kronos and then go back and drop off T'Pol. Okay, T'Pol just came in. She's wearing less clothes now. She's not in traditional Klingon garb, but she's definitely not in Star Trek, Starfleet uniform. One of many outfits we shall see her in. We're also seeing Jonathan Archer has a dog named Porthos. He's an eagle. They're talking about how Vulcans have a sense of smell and humans smell very bad to them. Oh, Trip's introducing himself. Trip's kind of a redneck, so the little of that they know of Vulcans is that they're pains in the ass. So he's just being a little douchey. Chip on his shoulder. Okay, and so Archer's like, okay, you're not going to be a spy for the Klingon or the Vulcan High Council. And she's like, no. Just kind of palling around because they're at odds with each other. Porthos likes her. Wonder how the dog smells to her. And she exits. And blinks before she exits. And they give each other a look like she's going to be a pain. Okay, now the Admiral's going blah blah blah. There's a group of people. Lots of Vulcans in robes. So it's a big deal. This is one of the very early missions of spaceflight. And so I guess everybody that's donated money or supports or is in positions of power is coming. And they're talking about Cochrane, Zephram Cochrane, and then Jonathan Archer's dad was a space dude who designed engines. So this is a big deal for Jonathan Archer. He's got a lot to prove. Oh. James Cromwell on video. Oh shit, and Archer's dad in the background. Superimposed over. Well, cut into them boarding the ship. But you hear Zephram Cochrane speaking, cut back to the video. Okay, we get it. Oh, back to Archer as a kid, and then his dad is like remote controlling a thing. Okay, so kind of a heavy-handed, intro to the characters. And Mayweather is plotting a course out of dry dock. clamps are being released. Some wonderful CGI from the 90s. God, I feel like I've been watching this forever. You know, I actually don't pay that close attention when I'm watching, but because I'm recording this with the hopes of making a Patreon, I'm paying closer attention. Alright, we're seeing people at their stations and what they're going to proceed to do for the rest of the season, for the rest of the show. And shit! They go to war! Oh, no commercial yet. Now they're showing... I don't even know what that was. Okay, we see some sort of transporter. Oh, some like blurry shit is happening. You know what? We've seen this guy before. Or no, maybe not so far we haven't. There's like a blurry guy and then a pumice stone guy. It's very mysterious. It's kind of interestingly shot. Okay, now the blurry guy's gone. Commercial, so... Oh! Maybe not. Nope, we're back to this. Oh, okay. Archer is in sick bay. He was looking at some worms, and now he's talking to Dr. Phlox, who I love. He was talking about Chinese food, not sure why. Ooh! Dr. Dr. Phlox has some sort of weird animal in a container. Establishing him as a light-hearted weirdo. He's wearing like a, I don't know, like a Nehru collar. The Klingon's in sick bay. I guess he's in stasis of some sort. So they know very little about Klingons. Oh, he's got spines on his feet. I don't know if we ever saw a lot of Klingon body parts in other shows. Okay, and there's... Oh! You see Phlox's big smile. Now Trip is in a Jeffries tube. Oh yeah. We'll see Ensign Mayweather in this area in other episodes where he likes to play with the gravity. So he's hanging from the ceiling. Or not really hanging, he's just like there. And then he's telling Trip, why don't you go come hang out? So Trip is floating upwards and he's flipping out. Okay. Mayweather's just like sitting with his legs crossed on the ceiling, and I guess Trip's never done this before. Oh yeah, I don't know if he's mentioned it yet, but we find out that Mayweather's worked on cargo ships. He's well traveled. Oh, and Trip's never been outside of Earth. Again, establishing that his like kind of xenophobic side's gonna come out. Mess hall. kind of like a, I don't know, just kind of grab and go sort of food. Okay, now we might be in Captain's quarters? Or does the captain have his own dining room? So he's with T'Pol in a separate non-mess hall room. He's drinking, I think, iced tea, which is a thing, I think, and eating like breadsticks from Olive Garden. I don't know. There's candles, which I think is strange. Okay, Trip's there now too. Napkins are folded and then unfolded to put in their laps. Trip grabs a Stella D'oro breadstick, seemingly. Ooh! T'Pol just tried to break a Stella D'oro breadstick with a fork. Right, she did break it. So they're already poking fun at her because she doesn't know how to eat their food. Okay, and then this is an ongoing joke of the chef. Holy shit, Trip's having a gigantic chunks of meat. So they have meat and potato and like broccoli. And I think T'Pol's eating vegetarian. She's trying to cut another Stella D'oro breadstick with, I don't know why. I don't know. I have no idea why. But she's repulsed by humans, basically. And I would be too. I am. They kind of have fun when they're talking to T'Pol because she's so different. Okay, she did cut a Stella D'oro breadstick with like a butter knife, and she's eating it off a fork. Not sure why. So this is NX-01 Enterprise. Okay, so the bridge, very reminiscent of what you would think would be on an old-fashioned battleship. Oh, damn. Shit. Oh. Okay, they're calling Hoshi jumpy, which has pissed her off. The Klingon is regaining consciousness, says Dr. Phlox. So Hoshi and the captain. Oh! Hoshi doesn't know what he's saying. Klingon seems angry. Is he Tiny Lister? Off the top of my head, I don't know what Tiny Lister looks like. It's probably him. Okay, Hoshi's kind of understanding. So she's trying her best. She's the best at what she does, but it's still not enough at the moment. Nobody really understands Klingons. We see how Hoshi's kind of funny. Ship has dropped out of warp. Oh shit, lights are going out. Seems bad. Wow, that's okay, the pumice stone face dudes are like climbing on the walls and shit because we got some sort of like night vision. and the rest of the crew has flashlights. Oh, and the Klingon's freaking out because he actually knows what's happening because he was running from the pumice stone dudes. Holy shit. So they kind of become transparent, like you saw them, and now they're invisible. So they got quiet. Seems not great. And they just took off. Seems bad to be using flashlights so early. Okay, oh, now we see a pumice guy on the ceiling. They're wearing clothes, but you can, they're whatever exposed skin. Oh, they're Suliban. They're bald-headed. Skin is greenish. Ooh. Oh, shit. They're acrobatic. The security guard was taken out by one that jumped from the ceiling. Oh, suddenly lights are on. Don't know how they fixed that. The Klingon is gone. Oh, shit. Oh, I guess this episode, I don't need to pause for commercials. So they're saying the power outage was just a glitch. Of course it was not a glitch. They're still trying to figure it out. Oh, so T'Pol's like, well, you don't have a mission anymore if the Klingon is gone. And the captain's like, nope, we got plenty to do. She's calling him foolish, which I don't think he'll like. Oh, he said, come with me. You don't call me foolish on my bridge. He's snapping. Yeah, this is gonna happen a lot on this show. She's like, you're very emotional. You're like a human woman. He's like, I can't believe you're calling me a human woman. Human Vulcan. And she looks down her nose at him. It's really awesome, actually. And she's like, you're gonna follow the directions in the manual, right? You're gonna do things by the book? And he's like, I ain't never read a book in my goddamn life. So she turns. She always does this, like, turn away and judge them with your back. Oh, one of the pumice stone that. Oh, Phlox has cut one open. One of the Suliban. Oh. Okay. So the Suliban has altered organs. Genetic engineering, he's saying. Okay. Okay, so he's saying it's not just a Suliban. He's got like special skin, special organs, special eyesight. Oh, okay. And then T'Pol is putting down their sensors, and then Trip's like, they're a lot better than you think. And now he's getting snippy. Yeah, they're all playing their roles. Trip's like, I'm from Florida. You don't say anything against this shit. And she's like, I'm Vulcan. I'm so much better than you. See, about 35 minutes in. Shit, why did I do this long one? Oh, my bad. So maybe this episode doesn't have commercials for some reason. So Hoshi just translated some of what the Klingon said, and there's some planet names in there. So Klang was on Rigel 10 before he crashed to Earth. And T'Pol seemingly was going to withhold that information from Archer. So he's like, you better not do that again. I'm a lot smarter than I look. And T'Pol's like, God damn it, I was supposed to keep that secret. Okay, now they're going to Rigel 10. The Suliban have the Klingon in some sort of chair, and they're asking him stuff. Oh, they're looking for something that the Klingon has. And he's saying, I don't know what you're talking about. They're looking for an item. Can't tell if the Klingon's lying about not having whatever it is. The Suliban seem angry. Alright, looks like they're about to have an away mission on Rigel 10. They're getting briefed. T'Pol's giving them some tips on how to act. They seem to they're wearing these, it looks like rubber quilted jackets. Okay, they're going in a shuttle. Just a few dudes. It appears to be snowing. Interesting. Okay, they're in some establishment with food cooking. There's chains hanging. Oh, T'Pol's with them. So it's T'Pol, Trip. Bug landed on Trip. He's freaking out. T'Pol's judging him for being not manly, I suppose, or for having emotions. Could be some sort of marketplace, can't really tell. Trip saw something caught his eye, and T'Pol's like, don't worry about it. Seemingly a strip club or an entertainment venue of a sort. Bodies are either painted or they are different color. Alien women? They seem to be painted. Ooh, long tongue. Malcolm seems intrigued. Ooh, she's like eating. Part of their dance is eating bugs. I guess that's sexy to somebody. Ooh. Guess they're trying to find out about playing, and this guy is trying to get them a lap dance or something. Malcolm's honestly really hard to figure out. Now we're seeing a variety of alien types somewhere. Kind of hard to figure out what's going on. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So Trip is hanging out while T'Pol is talking to someone. He's seeing a child in distress. Oh. Trip's getting angry. Oh. Oh, I don't like what she just said. So T'Pol's being a little cunty. A hooded figure turns around and has the pumice skin. It's a Suliban. Now there's lots of steam in a darkened area. They took a lot of people on this away mission. Like, I didn't realize they would all fit. Who is running the ship when all the main people? They're just picking the sketchiest areas. They don't seem especially ready to defend themselves. The quilted uniform doesn't seem to help them regulate their temperature. Phasers are out. Some Zulabons are jumping on them. Archer flipped one over his shoulder, but there's They're outnumbered. Is this a commercial? No, just another black. And well, they've been captured by Suliban, Hoshi, Trip, the captain, and T'Pol. So Malcolm and Travis are somewhere. Okay, they're taking Archer somewhere separate. And the three of them are in confinement. Okay. And then they just left Archer somewhere. Someone comes out of the darkness. Oh. Kind of a sexy lady in a cloak. She's wearing both a very tight outfit, but like just a hood too. Archer does tend to run into a lot of sexy ladies. He's asking about Clang. The woman's being very sultry. She looks human. Doesn't mean she is. She's stroking his face. Oh, they're kissing. Just a single kiss. Oh, she turned into a Suliban. Not so sexy anymore. He made a penis joke. Oh, the Suliban can shapeshift. I guess the altered ones, altered DNA ones. So you can look like a pumice stone creature, or you can look like a sexy lady. There's something called a cabal. The Temporal Cold War. Yeah. So that guy earlier who was blurry was someone from the future. Now there's Suliban shooting. Because the sexy lady Suliban was like telling Archer what he wanted to know. So she's not on the same side as the shooting Suliban. So if you don't know about the Temporal Cold War, there's a lot of it in this series. But we don't get to know more about it until later. So I don't know really who's good or bad. There's running, there's shooting. This is about, let's see, 48 minutes in. And then there. More shooting, more shooting. I wish I hadn't chosen this double episode, but you live and you learn. Oh, the sexy lady Suliban got shot, and she's like on her, oh, she says, fine Clang, and then like her eyes roll on the back of her head. So she didn't give him very much info. Okay, now they're suddenly in like a elevator. It's getting kind of convoluted. Okay, is that them? They went into an elevator that put them outside, and I guess they're gonna leave. They're trying to find their vessel. It's honestly very irritating. They're contacting Enterprise. Oh, I guess. Oh, okay. So Reed and Mayweather made it back to the shuttle miraculously. And then the other 4 are getting shot at and trying to find where the shuttle is. Like I said, it's snowing, so visibility is difficult. The Suliban seem to wear these red bodysuits. So maybe they're trying to locate them with biosigns. T'Pol has found the shuttle somehow. Now the shuttle's flying to rescue them. More stuff's happening. What is it? Like, too much sensory stuff, I get really confused. So they're still shooting, it's still snowing. More shooting, more snowing. Okay, so Hoshi's on. They're gonna fight until they get on the thing. Okay, is everyone on? Nope, Archer wants to be the last one shooting. Oh, we just got shot. Is that Archer? It is Archer. He got shot in the leg pretty bad. Because he's a hero, you know. Doesn't care if he gets extremely hurt as long as he's being the captain. Kind of foolish. So he looks like he's in a bunch of pain. They're all in the shuttle, thank goodness. Snow is still in their hair. At least we know it snows on Rigel 10. And the Suliban are like, damn it, they're getting away. So T'Pol, since she's more of an expert at going places, interacting with people, she's kind of taking over. Since he's out of commission and nobody else really knows much. Which is fine, but they all gave each other a look like, oh, we're letting her take over. Now flashback. He's having a flashback to his childhood. He's flying a radio-controlled thing. I guess the thing he was painting earlier, the model he was painting earlier. And it crashed into the sand. They're on the beach for whatever reason. His dad is just teaching him a life lesson. Okay, and then he has a vision of T'Pol. Wait a minute. Oh, now we see Trip with no shirt on. He's very hunky. We see T'Pol with a tank top on. This is one of many, many scenes that they're going to do in like the decontamination re-entry room. Sometimes there's lights. Sometimes there's rubbing of creams. Okay, they seem to get out pretty quickly, but they just have less clothes on. Oh, no. Okay, now they're going inside the UV chamber. Oh, there's going to be rubbing. Yes. Very careful shots of rubbing. You know, probably Vaseline. And Trip is doing his I'm angry at Vulcans Meanwhile, they're still rubbing. DePaul is sensually rubbing her stomach, her thighs. They're glistening all over, but somehow acting like they're mad at each other. Oh, she's lifting her tank top up so he can rub her some more. Because they sometimes rub themselves, sometimes they rub each other. Okay, he's in her tramp stamp area. There appears to be some glitter in this Vaseline. Oh, he's like stroking her ears, which is kind of, Good thing she's not a Ferengi. Okay, so she ordered him to turn around so that she can do some rubbing. And he's still acting angry even though there's lots of rubbing. Oh, you kind of saw his penis. More rubbing. Additional rubbing. Like, you could not hold a serious conversation with all this rubbing. Okay, Trip is being Trip and T'Pol is rubbing. And they also speak very close to each other. Like, if they're heated, they gotta get their faces real close to each other. They're just always mad, so they're always close. Oh, you can see nipples glistening. Okay, Captain's in sick bay. He's got something cool on his leg, some sort of creature that helps heal, I guess. Dr. Phlox has a lot of tricks up his sleeve with... Oh, it was an osmotic eel to cauterize his wound. Similar little use of leeches. Well, you can kind of see Archer's, athletic leg. The thing I've always thought about sickbay is the patient beds are always in the open air, just in a room. Like, there's no small room, there's no privacy. There's never any dividers. So now we're seeing that T'Pol can be kind of flexible, despite portraying that she's very rigid. So she's like, well, I know that I said to go home because we lost the Klingon, but now I want to pursue the Suliban, but I'm only going to do it because I think you would want to do it and you're injured. He's wearing blue underwear and a blue shirt. Once again, see his, slender legs, slightly muscled. He's doing a captain's log. I'm not really paying attention because I'm looking at his physical form. The room does look very 90s, like metal, as though it's a ship of some sort, but the very 90s finishings. Oh, and there's Porthos looking all cute. Not sure how you could have a dog on a spaceship, but that's the least of my questions. So now he's like, what in the heck is a Cold War? Okay, so the first thing he chooses to put on looks like a jacket or a cardigan. I don't think he has pants on yet. So now he's gonna go to the bridge, so I hope he puts pants on. Now we see the bridge. He's in full uniform. I think that jacket thing must be an undershirt for when he wears the jumpsuit. They're like a flight suit sort of thing with zippers. Like, the flight suits are pretty cool. But we do end up seeing a lot of these characters disrobed for whatever reason. Okay, and then I guess there's some coloring, maybe to indicate rank or area. And then again, T'Pol has some clothing I've never seen in my life. Because I don't believe Vulcans wear tight clothing. At least the higher ups wear robes, and T'Pol was wearing a robe earlier, so not sure why she would change into not robes. Maybe Starfleet needs to have closer fitting uniforms than robes, which makes sense, so they don't catch on anything dangerous. Some amazing graphics on the view screen. That's another thing I've always wondered about, like, view screen. It's not a window, it's a screen. And so I guess there's cameras with different views, but also a camera that's exactly their front view. Oh shit, they're going in to where I wasn't paying attention. Now we see the blurry dude from the future again. It's actually really cool. He's blurry in a stream of dappled light. They're talking about a helix. Oh, okay, so Saren was that sexy Suliban who ended up dying, and apparently she gave Krang, or Clang, or whatever his name was, a message. So that's not an object, it was a message that should not get to Kronos, apparently. So now there's so many different details, I'm kind of losing track of what's happening. So they're descending into a planet. There's a lot of gas. It looks kind of pretty. Some sort of structure or vessel that's floating in the atmosphere, or maybe just above the surface. They got hit. Oh, they got hit again. Okay, so they're in different layers of the atmosphere. So T'Pol's like, we should leave this layer. Okay, and something seems to be following them, but then didn't go through the layer. Okay, so now T'Pol is saying a whole bunch of stuff I don't understand. So it's a structure that has life signs, but they don't know who all's in there. They put a lot of stuff into this double episode. So Enterprise is going back in, I guess, to the layer they just left. They're shooting these pod-like vessels. keep getting hit. T'Pol's like, this is dangerous, and Archer's like, we're staying here. He loves to be in danger. Also, T'Pol doesn't think very highly of their capabilities, so she's trying to keep them safe. She also doesn't want to die. Oh, they got some sort of like hooks. Oh shit. Hooks on one of those pod things, but then the pilot ejected, so you saw him kind of floating. So they have a small vessel in their possession. And now they're taking a look at it. Not sure. So Mayweather's a good flyer, and Trip is more of an engineer. He doesn't really know a lot of stuff. Mayweather's like, I should fly this thing. T'Pol's like, we're in danger. Of course, they're disregarding her because they feel like she's an other. So regardless of if she says anything smart, they do kind of ignore her. But this is only the first episode. She's like, we should wait for Vulcans for help. Obviously, Vulcans are much better than you. And Archer's like, we ain't waiting for shit. So we're about, let's see, 1 hour, 6 minutes in, 20 more minutes to go, approximately. T'Pol doesn't want to be responsible if anything bad happens. Meanwhile, people continue to not listen. Okay, and Malcolm gave the captain some sort of device to do a thing and some weapons. Malcolm's security, if I didn't mention that. Oh, so the captain has like some gold on his uniform, and Malcolm has more burgundy accent on his uniform, and I can't remember who else has colors. Okay, so, looks like Archer and Trip are in the alien vessel. Trip does not know what he's doing. The markings on the panel are just symbols. So T'Pol continues to be in charge on the Enterprise. Trip looks really terrified, like real terrified and hesitant, which is really not what you need if you're trying to protect the captain and transport the captain. But I guess the captain wanted Travis to remain on the ship because he can fly the ship. Why is the captain not flying? Not sure how they decide these things. Captain's fully trusting Trip to get him there. So they're in the vessel to get closer to that structure so they won't get shot at, because seemingly they are just another thing that belongs there. Okay, and then Trip's not controlling the vessel very well. They're going through what is it? A hexagon? A hexagonal entranceway into this structure. So maybe the pod is kind of hexagonal, like 3D hexagonal, so I don't know how many sides that is. Okay, and somehow they enter the vessel and there's breathable air, which I don't think they talked about. It looks like a looks like a ride at like a amusement park, you know, where there's black lights and it's a maze. They just shot somebody. Whoa. Some sort of like pressure wave hit the ship. So many things happening in this episode. Okay, there's like steam spewing, which I've never seen in my life. Okay, they found the Klingon. I don't know how, but they did. He's got stuff attached to his face. Trip found it easy to remove his restraints. Captain's aiming a phaser. The Klingon's calming down. Trip is terrified. Captain's very gung-ho and Trip's more cautious. So they're winding through the maze of this structure. They're getting shot at now. The Klingon is talking to them. They can't understand him. The Klingon has come up from behind a Suliban. Just punched him dead in the face. I'm getting tired of the Suliban, honestly. And the length of this. Suliban are not my favorite. And I don't mind Klingons. But at this point, they're not using the universal translator very well. Oh, so they used the thing Malcolm gave. Some little doodad. Oh, it demagnetized. Okay, so the structure is like a bunch of little things that are magnetized to a larger thing. And the thing Malcolm gave was to demagnetize it, I think. Yeah, this is the type of episode that I don't like, when there's just too much stuff. Like, I prefer more characters, getting to know characters and their quirks. Also, the Suliban don't look especially interesting. Okay, so now there's a funny moment where the Klingon is yelling and Trip is yelling back. Ha ha ha. Hoshi is communications officer. She's picking up something. So she deals with languages, but also just things she hears that she picks up. I guess like Uhura. Oh yeah, she's the Uhura. They're not picking up everybody's bio signs, so maybe somebody died. But the captain is alive and well. Trip and the Klingon are on the vessel. As usual, Captain is just like doing his thing. Doing the more dangerous thing. He's just walking around this structure, what he called the core structure, which is the larger part. And there's a bit of flashing lights. Again, like maybe in a haunted house sort of strobe effect. Okay. Oh, he's walking into the blurry room, the room where the guy talks to the future guy. So that's interesting. And now he's blurry. I guess time is out of phase in this room, which I wasn't fully understanding earlier, because the Suliban was also blurry. So now Archer is blurry. We're going to call this the blurry room. And Archer can tell he's kind of unstuck in time. And Apollo's being a little cunty again. Trip is being angry. They're always yelling at each other. Because they're deeply, deeply in love. It's sexual tension and we all know it. They were rubbing each other. Trip is snapping? And then a great thing about the show is you can tell T'Pol is filled with emotion. And she's attempting to hide it, but she's not hiding it that well. Oh, somebody's talking to Archer and he's trying to look around to see. He can't see a person. Oh, I see a Suliban kind of appear and then go invisible again. So he's not talking to the blurry future guy. Honestly, this episode's taken a lot out of me. I'm gonna have to sleep for 8 hours after it. There's a lot of talking. More appearing and disappearing. Okay, the Suliban just bum rushed him and he dropped his phaser. Archer's being kind of macho. Not my favorite. He's being shot by the phaser, but the time being disrupted in this room made it so that he was able to move out the way. Not sure. Oh, I don't know if it was a special phaser or what that Malcolm gave him. This is like, the part of the movie where the villain and the hero are doing a little talking and they're doing a little this and a little that. And Archer's doing some weird time tricks to distract the dude and Enough, I get it. Flashing lights and like headlocks and shit, and more shooting shit. I guess we're establishing who everybody is. To Paul's, she's a good leader. Good leader despite not being one of them. Archer is Archer. A lot to prove. Suleiman or Suleiman. Oh, they just beamed him. Magically beamed him. He was in mid-run, mid-stride. The captain's kind of pissed because he wanted to do his thing, whatever his thing was. And Trip's like, sorry, we had to get you. Now we see some Klingons on Kronos, I'm assuming, in some sort of chamber. A lot of cool outfits, a lot of heavy metal doors. Oh, and we see Clang and Hoshi and the captain and somebody else. Up to Paul. So I guess we're gonna figure out what Klang's message was that he got from the sexy lady. There's a knife, some word, some blood poured into a vial. So we're seeing some rituals, even though we've seen rituals with Klingons before, because we've seen them before, but they haven't. Oh, so they're pouring some of the blood to make sure, I guess, that he's not a Suliban pretending to be a Klingon or whatever. Damn, they're doing like blood analysis. Oh. So they're zooming in essentially on his human genome, his Klingon genome, and they found something that was not organic. Which means don't know. Must mean something, because everyone was murmuring. Well, something was accomplished. Back on the ship, hanging out with the dog. Captain sent a message to Admiral Forrest. Mm-hmm. So typical closing of an episode where there are messages relayed to command and back to the people on the ship. And so Captain's like, T'Pol, you're gonna leave us. We're gonna put you back with the Vulcans. And she's like, no, I like it here. Which we're gonna see a lot. We're like, she might have to leave, but oh, she wants to stay. Oh, now a private word with T'Pol, because Trip has left the room. Oh, now the captain's gonna say, now that I've spent time with you, a Vulcan, I see that you're alright. I like you. Oh, he's saying I can't quit you. Oh, he's saying, oh, I'm kind of a mess. Sorry if I was acting this way towards you. I have a lot to live up to, and you really helped us out, buddy. And maybe you could stay. And, she's saying some snappy retorts, as per usual. And then she's saying, I'm gonna make the request to stay here instead of you making the request, because it will go over better. And, oh, now they're friends. Now they are friends. And the captain's like, we ain't going home for shit. We're gonna have adventures with our Vulcan bitch. And everyone's smiling. It was just supposed to be a few days to Kronos and a few days back. And now they're having an adventure. And they're doing the thing where they're smiling. Even a non-talking character, he's just smiling. They're stoked. And they're going to warp on a mission to who knows where. And another flashback to Archer as a kid flying the remote control vehicle, and credits. So that was my practice recording for my Patreon for Kimmy's Watchalong. Hope you enjoyed. Hope I wasn't too annoying.